Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks, Futures and Forex Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap and International one for the week beginning Sunday, the 7th of February, Super Bowl Sunday, and ending Friday the 12th. Hope you had a good trading week. Here's a look at the Euro-dollar futures. Actually, let's go back to the dollar first. Let's just look at the dollar itself. Not much here, pretty flat, a little move up. Euro-dollar is the inverse of that, as it should be, still pretty narrow. The pound-dollar, which did make a little bit of a move, but not much. I mean, this is so flat, right? It's awful. Aussie-dollar, nothing here. The euro-yen in the flat range it's been in for now for 3 months, nothing there. The pound yen, like, this is the worst for Forex. Like the pound yen made new highs, the pound Swiss made new highs. But other than that, it's just been so bad for Forex. The New Zealand dollar pair also very flat under that 13 sell signal. So there's not much we can do with Forex at the current moment. That's just not what we like to see. In terms of 30-minute candles for the week, here's the euro dollar. High to low for the week is 140, 150 pips, just bad. The pound dollar is high to low for the week is 200 pips, not even that. It's just not, it's not what we like to see. There's nothing to look at in Forex, unfortunately, and I'd like to help you out, but there's just, we will make calls, and we did make some money this week, but it's just not there. Like, there's just nothing there at all. Okay, here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. Once again, new closing highs, stock market hitting, amazing. Good for it. NASDAQ side plus 56. Again, right up. This one's, it's basically a new closing high, but it's still tucked against that risk line from the 13 sell signal. This is the one you got to be concerned about, because if we head lower, it is what it is. If we look at, let's look at crude oil up 84 cents. Nobody really cares, but it did bust the risk line. If you look at gold up 24, okay, no problem. The stocks and the semiconductor, sorry, the S&P cash 13 sell signal were coming up on the risk line. The NASDAQ 100 should have, right, that risk line's right there, just like it would be on the futures. The stocks down 23, biotech's up 87, and that's a new closing high in the biotechs. Russell 2000 up 30. Okay, the VIX closes down 90 cents. Taking it right back to that red static trend line that we've been bouncing off of since it created itself in September. The trend closes at 0.86 and puts the 10-day moving average at 1.03, which is not a signal of any sort. NASDAQ volume 6.8, basically almost 6.8 billion shares, 6.7. Nothing. That's the lightest volume we've had, by the way, in 2 weeks. So that was not interesting. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 1250, so more stocks up and down. On the New York plus 1082. Google gains $35.20. Which is fine. That's a new closing high on Google. Apple down 43 cents. Apple hasn't made a new high recently. Netflix down $1.37. Nothing there. Amazon up 21.15. This thing's been fairly flat for a long time. Tesla gains $2.21. Facebook up $1.61. Zoom up 29.61. Goldman Sachs loses just 25 cents. I don't think anybody cares about that. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down $1.25. That's new lows for the last months, year almost, on the TLT. The Dow gains 92.38. Bitcoin back up to 38,055, and the put call ratio sits at 0.544. Which is not really a big deal, is what it is. All right, in terms of intraday action, actually, let's go to 10-minute candles. Look at the week on the ES, and here's what you get, right? So, gap up Monday, didn't quite fill it, came back, closed higher. Tuesday, gap up, went up for an hour, dead flat. Wednesday, dead flat. Thursday, small gap up and drift, dead flat. Tiny candles in the afternoon. Friday, small gap up, dead flat all day. So, the problem is, this is not an exciting week. Actually, this is the definition of a problem week, right? The candles are tiny almost the entire week. The gaps are taking at least a third of the gains, and we're just not seeing anything. We look at the NASDAQ side. Pretty much the same story. Monday was stronger, but the rest of it's just whatever. It's not tradable. So we made a little money this week. We had a good couple stock trades that were daily chart breakouts, which is what you really want to focus on. And it is what it is. There's nothing else to say about most of that. All right, in terms of economic data coming out this week, Sunday, New Zealand's on bank holiday, Japan, bank lending and current account, economy watcher sentiment, Swiss unemployment rate, that's Europe, German industrial production, Centex investor confidence, Japan average cash earnings, M2 money stock. UK retail sales monitor, Australia's NAB business confidence, New Zealand's inflation expectations. Tuesday, Japan preliminary machine tool orders, German trade balance, Italian industrial production, German 10-year bond auction, NFIB small business index out of the U.S., JOLTS job openings out of the U.S., mortgage delinquencies here. Then Tuesday night, Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia, RICS house price balance out of the UK, China's CPI and PPI. I love that they put the two of them together. Wednesday, German final CPI, French industrial production, UK GDP estimate. Here in the US, CPI, that'll be one of our big three each month for Forex. So we will be half size Tuesday night going into Wednesday on Forex. Final wholesale inventories here in the US, crude oil inventories, 10-year bond auction, federal budget balance at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, MI inflation expectations out of Australia. Japan and China have bank holidays. German WPI, EU economic forecasts, U.S. initial and continuing jobless claims numbers, natty gas here in the U.S. at 10:30 a.m. on Thursday. Fed monetary policy report at some point. 30-year bond auction at 1. Business manufacturing index out of New Zealand at 4:30 and FPI. China's on bank holiday to close out the week, and then everything's the UK from there. Preliminary GDP, construction output, goods trade balance, and index of services, industrial production, manufacturing production, preliminary business investment, Swiss CPI, Canada's wholesale inventories, and we wrap the week with our U.S. preliminary University of Michigan sentiment numbers. So the big thing is the CPI for Forex. It's not much of a week for data. It is what it is. We'll see what we get. We'll call it all from the tape outside of whatever we can find to put in the reports. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken the trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.